Hello gorgeous soul friends, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Hannah, welcome to Moza's channel, and it's such an honor to be a part of your wondrous earth experience today. So we're going to be doing a pick a card reading. What is your purpose? So we're going to be identifying the different kinds of purposes that many of you have, the skills, the specialties that a lot of you can use in your daily life and in your career path, in your love life, just to bring about the most fulfillment possible. I'm aware that we have many purposes in life, and I think I'll be addressing multiple purposes in here, so just take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Keep in mind, I am not the operant power in your reality. Ultimately, you are the creator, and I am just a guide to assist you, basically just kind of showing you different pathways and possibilities. And you have the freedom to choose what resonates with you. So listen to your soul, take a deep breath, relax, come into the present, bring yourself here to this video, connect with one of these three cards. We have groups 1, 2, and 3. You can select the timestamp down below and it'll take you right to your reading. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, group 1, so your first card is the end of a tough cycle approaches. We've got this full moon in Capricorn card. So some of you may have Capricorn placements. You might have a Capricorn moon. You might know a Capricorn moon. You might know a Capricorn. But I'm seeing that whoever this is relating to has a really strong purpose around analysis and analyzing things. You could be really good with money, or you could be really good with, data analysis, tracking things, keeping track, paying attention to things. I feel like whoever this is really doesn't leave a single detail out. You could have strong Capricorn or Virgo in your chart, maybe even Scorpio, because I'm picking up the energy of somebody who pays attention. So this might be somebody who's like an investigator. They're meant to be some kind of data entry specialist. Like you might currently work in a position where you're an investigator or you're a data entry specialist. I'm also getting that for some of you, this could also have to do with helping other people approach tough cycles. So there's a group of you in here, a small portion of group 1, I would say that, and maybe most of you, who find your challenges to later on be the thing that makes you win at the end of the day. I feel like there's a lot of wisdom that you all derive from your hardships. You're not the type of person that lets your hardships get you down. You kind of use them and work through them to make you a better person, to make you more inspired, to make you move along further in life. I just see a really constructive use of hardship. And you could also be somebody who guides other people through hardship. So you might work in therapy. So I'm hearing somebody who's like a PT specialist, like they might help people who can't walk. Like notice how this goat doesn't have any bottom legs. So, somebody here could help people who don't have the ability to walk, people who have back injuries, people who have serious nervous system issues, neurological issues. Somebody here could do some kind of health related to the spine, specifically like the back and the legs. But I'm just seeing where somebody helps other people overcome tough cycles in their life. All right, and there's a lot of really beautiful karma that's associated with this. And for some of you, like, this might not even be in your career, you know what I mean? This could just be you being a good friend and always being there when somebody needs you, always having a listening ear, or always offering your help when other people need you. So I feel like there's just this, maybe there's been a cycle of people needing you and you've been kind of falling up or coming up short around, getting your needs met and getting your needs reciprocated. I feel like that's changing right now. I feel like there's going to be this flip where maybe somebody comes and helps you out of a tough cycle. If you're the type of person that considers yourself very helpful and you're always there to lend a helping hand to others when they need it, I do feel like this is going to be reciprocated to you very soon. You may have somebody bless you with like a financial gift, like a really big financial gift, as a way to kind of alleviate a lot of your problems or alleviate a lot of tension. This could also be like an investor, like somebody who invests in businesses, somebody who invests in, artists, small entrepreneurs. All right, somebody could have a lot of money here, because when you think about Capricorn, it has a lot to do with the financial sector and career, right? So I think a lot of you, your purpose is heavily, heavily, heavily going to surround your career. Even if you do multiple things throughout your life, I think a lot of you are very multifaceted, right? You have a magician here. The magician can handle pretty much any element, and can work with any element. So I feel like a lot of you are very, very well-rounded, and I hope you like my new anime deck. I love it. It's so cute. But I think a lot of you are very well-rounded, and it's kind of like other people look to you for guidance because they see how knowledgeable you are. You attain knowledge very quickly. I think that you're somebody who maybe strives in situations where you can be very active. Like, your learning is very active. You have to really immerse yourself. You might not be the biggest book reader. I don't know, maybe some of you with the Knight of Wands. You might go through books very quickly or not read at all. This is somebody who absorbs information very quickly. Okay, so I really feel like someone here is very intelligent and a very fast learner. And this is going to contribute to your career. Like, this is going to help you boost yourself career-wise, school-wise. I see a lot of opportunity coming your way as long as you align this striving of knowledge with your career. So somebody who, again, could be like an investigator, loves to learn new information, seek out new information. A researcher, like some of you may go into research, some of you may go into science, expect powerful change, right? Like, science is all about making changes to the way that we understand the world around us. So I feel like a lot of you are going to be changing the way that people see the world around them, because you have this ability to see things as they are and to really look at things with all the details in their full form. All right, so I think a lot of you, your purpose surrounds gathering information, gathering data, and applying it either for your own benefit or for other people's benefit. Maybe both. I think a lot of you, your purpose surrounds younger people as well. Like, you might lead a lot of younger people. You may have like a big platform of a lot of people that are younger than you. You might make content for kids, or you might make children's toys, or you might run a daycare or something like that, or babysitting. Babysitting might be a part of your path. Even if it's not what you do, like with your whole life path. Again, like, we have many, many purposes. But I do feel like for some of you, like, you're very childlike and you have a childlike spirit, and it comes out very often. And I think you get along with kids, even if you don't necessarily care for them, okay? Because I feel like some of you may be like, all right, like, listen, I don't really care about kids, but kids love you, okay? So that might be something to consider, is childcare. Some of you may need a little bit of a break from the harsh realities of adulthood or the harsh realities of life. And you get that break by spending time with children. That's what I'm seeing. Or people who are younger than you. Empowering people who are younger than you. So I'm seeing somebody who's a teacher, somebody who works with children. All right, some of you could travel the world and teach maybe your language to another country. Like, I know there's a lot of people who go and teach English in other countries. Some of you might go and teach English to foreign children or something like that. But I do feel like a lot of your purpose surrounds traveling or being in another place. So a lot of you are going to be taking a big risk in your life, or you may be seeing a series of risks that you take over the course of your life that lead you to different places across the globe. Because I feel like a lot of you, part of your purpose is travel. You might be a flight attendant at some point. Some of you guys might get your pilot's license. Some of you guys may love to fly. You might like to fly planes. But I do feel as though some of you may have a career in the airline industry, or you may have some kind of like internship, or you might be studying to be a pilot or something like that. But I see something significantly around travel, like somebody who backpacks, that might be an option for you. Like you might be someone who helps people travel. Again, because there's this element of helping other people overcome their challenges. So you might be like a travel agent, you know, and help people who are kind of struggling with putting their trips together and all of that stuff. You might be a tour guide. All right, the Hermit and the Page of Swords. Again, we have this energy of gathering information, right? That's the energy of the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords loves to gather data. It loves to gather info. You could be somebody who is very handy, like somebody who works with cars, machines, some kind of engineer. Again, there's this element of making the world a better place or helping people overcome their problems or challenges. So maybe you're going to create something that is going to help other people overcome their daily life issues, right? Like you may invent something that provides an element of convenience to people. And some of you may be female engineers. I'm seeing like a female engineer. I'm seeing a lot of like women in STEM in this pile. So there's a lot of you that might be doing like STEM careers or pursuing careers that may be traditionally considered masculine. All right, so that's something that I see here too. Like some of you may end up being like the only woman in your field or one of the few women in your field, because look at this, you got the Hermit, right? On the flip side, this could be a man going into a female-dominated field, you know, like the beauty industry or fashion or something like that. Some of you might play a sport that is traditionally considered like male, like football or something. I'm just seeing somebody doing something that is kind of out of the norm for where they come from or from who they are, stereotypically. But I do feel like you're going to be the type of person, and you already are the type of person who creates opportunities for yourself. Like you don't wait for things to just fall into your lap. You kind of go and you make a way, right? And I see that with this wrench. Like when something's not working out, you figure out where something's not working, you go and you fix the problem, and then you move forward. You don't just sit there and cry about it, you know what I mean, and wait for somebody else to come fix it. You make opportunities for yourself. You don't wait for the door to open, you open the door yourself. And if it's locked, you're gonna pick the lock. You know what I mean? Like this is somebody who is very, very driven, and they're gonna get a lot of places in life. Don't let other people tell you that you're too forceful or that you're too pushy, because I feel like that's something that you might feel, or you might hear this from other people, and it might be very discouraging. Like it might make you not want to pursue something. Push hard and push well, because I feel like for some of you, like your pushy attitude or like your pushy nature, and I don't want to say forceful, because it doesn't feel like you're really forcing anything, but it's like when you want something, you go get it, and you do not let anything or anyone stand in your way. So keep that attitude. Like don't ever lose that. Don't ever let people take that away from you. Don't ever let people tell you that that's a bad quality to have. Because if you haven't seen the Venus and Serena movie, I would highly recommend watching it. The two tennis players, that's exactly how they got their careers. There were so many people that told them no and that they couldn't do it. And their dad pushed, and he was very, very pushy. And they were able to make their careers happen because of him, because of his relentlessness. So a lot of you are relentless. Keep that energy, because it's really going to contribute to a lot of purposes in your life, a lot of big shot opportunities that you're going to see over the course of your life. And I think a lot of you are quite young, because I have a lot of page energy in here. You know, like a lot of you may be younger than 21. Some of you may be traveling the world before you turn 21. Or like you might be starting a business at 21, or you might be starting a business before 21. Like you might just be somebody who's very young and successful, is kind of what I'm seeing. And you might be kind of like one of the only people who is successful at your age, or makes as much money as you do, or has the kind of career that you do. That energy. But that is what I'm seeing here, group 1. If you'd like to book a personal reading, go ahead and check out my website down below, madamdevoe.com. You can get your first reading for 50% off when you use the code EMPRESS. check it out. Check out my channel, guys. I have more tarot readings. I have subliminals. I have informational content. Go ahead and check it all out on my channel, Madame DeVoe. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. All right, group 2. So your first card is A New Romantic Cycle Begins. Very, very juicy. So I feel as though your relationships are going to be a big part of your life or a big part of your purpose. You might have a lot of Libra placements. You might have a lot of 7th house placements. But I do feel as though your relationships are kind of what motivate you and push you, right? And it's not to say that you need anybody to be successful, right? Because that's not what I'm saying at all. I just feel that you have a lot of really supportive people in your life who are going to do anything they can to see you succeed and do anything that they can to see you fulfill your purpose. Your many purposes, right? Because we have many, many purposes throughout our lives. Now, I feel as though there may have even already been a past relationship that you've been in, whether it was a friendship, whether it was a romantic relationship. I really think it was romantic for a lot of you with the Ace of Cups. However, I don't know if this relationship worked, or if I don't think it worked out, because you have this card that says, don't let your past hold you back. And what that's telling me is that this relationship is something that is in the past, but it almost catapulted you in a really positive direction, right? So like you and this person came into orbit, right? And then you just propelled each other into your purposes. So there's a relationship here from your past that has really contributed to who you are today. And it's not to say that relationships don't do that already, but I think for you especially, it's a lot more potent. Like the influence that your relationships have on you and the loved ones in your life have on you is a lot more potent than other people. So I feel as though there's going to be a pretty big relationship. Maybe it's your marriage. Maybe it's just a really huge best friend type of situation where you guys are friends for like 10, 15, 20 years type of stuff. But there's going to be some kind of relationship that you develop with someone that's really going to contribute to your purpose. So this is the type of thing where, yeah, like you might be the one to start a business with your partner. You know, like your relationship might contribute to your career. You might meet the love of your life while you're in school, or you might meet the love of your life in your career. Let's see. But it seems as though you always do really well when you have a good bunch of people around you. Like you thrive, you maybe make more money, you do well financially, physically, emotionally, mentally. Like I think you just really, you thrive in social settings. And I think that's a really big part of your purpose. A lot of you are going to meet all kinds of people from across the globe. I think that a big part of your purpose is going to be connecting with different people and maybe even connecting people, right? Because that's kind of what I'm picking up with this new romantic cycle begins as well. This new moon in Libra energy, it's all about connecting other people, right? So you might be the love doctor, you know, like you might be the person that everybody goes to hook them up with other people, because maybe you just kind of have an eye for who's going to be good together. All right, so I see some of you playing matchmaker in your life. Like that's a really big part of your purpose. Like you might be the matchmaker. You might have a lot of friends and you know who's gonna go good together and who's not. This is also somebody who organizes events, hosts events, is like a party host, loves social gatherings, creates opportunities for social gatherings for people to come together and mingle and connect. Right? Like a big part of your purpose, group 2, is to connect other people with each other. All right? Like you are going to thrive in spaces where you can connect people that you know together. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of networking here. Like some of you may go into the networking field. Like I said, community management, event hosting, marketing, all of that stuff. Really business oriented. I feel like somebody here is extremely business oriented. I'm also seeing somebody who goes into international law. I don't know why, that's very specific. It came to me. You might settle disputes, like international disputes, or you might just go into law in general and just settle a lot of disputes between people. But I'm seeing somebody going and practicing law in another country specifically, or in another state. You might have to learn the laws for that country or learn the laws for that state. But you do have the Three of Cups here. So again, there's this emphasis on a past relationship having a huge influence on you. This might be somebody who you're still financially connected to. Like, this might be somebody who you once started a business with, or maybe they were loaning you money, or, you might have had a house together. I don't necessarily know if this is a house, though, because it's not a Ten of Pentacles, it's not a Ten of Cups. This might be somebody who maybe you both put investments into something together. I'm not quite sure, but there possibly is some kind of financial tie between you and this past relationship. But regardless of that, I think that there's a prominent influence that they have on you and your purpose. Someone who you've known since you were like a child, or who you've known since you were really, really young, is going to help you with your purpose. So you never know, like 8 years down the road, you might, bump into somebody from your childhood at work, and you end up working together or something like that. You might end up coming into cahoots with, somebody that you knew when you were really young, and you end up starting a business, or you end up, starting a YouTube channel. Or I'm not quite sure. But this is two people connecting, two people reconnecting specifically, and possibly profiting from investments that they put into each other, or that they put into something together. And I, honest to God, group 2, I feel like there's something that you've already done that's going to make you a lot of money in the future. Like, just give it like 3 years. Just give it 3 years. There's something that's going to pop off in 3 years. And I know that sounds like it's a long time from now, but 3 years goes by like that, okay? There's something that you invested your time into, and maybe it's 3 months for some of you. I'm just getting the number 3. So maybe it is the year of 2023, something that you worked on maybe 3 years ago, or started 3 years ago, or even 8 months ago, is going to pop off in 2023. I'm not quite sure, but I do feel like there's something that you've already done, because the Eight of Pentacles is all about investing in something and seeing the fruits of your labor. Like seeing something come out of what you've put into it. All right, the harvest. So there's going to be something that you're harvesting, a big part of your purpose, like you've already engaged in, you've already created something, or you've done something, you've made necessary connections already that are going to benefit you in the future, significantly. All right. Now, this might have been something that you did in 2021. There might be something that you were starting in 2021 that's going to pop off. I'm not quite sure. This could be media management as well. Like somebody could be in the media. Maybe it's like social media stuff, YouTube, Instagram, all of that. Okay, we got the Emperor. This is big boss energy. All right, so somebody here is a big boss. All right, we got the big boss. I'm saying first class travel, all right? Business class. So somebody here travels business class. They're going to be traveling business class. It's a big part of their purpose. First class, air travel. This is somebody who travels for business. Like I said, you might be like an international lawyer, or you might be like an international business owner. You might own a business in multiple countries or multiple states, multiple cities. But I'm just seeing this element of being the boss, like being the head honcho. Like you really, really do have a big personality group too. I feel like a lot of you have Leo placements in your chart because you have the World card, or you could have significant Aries in your chart. I feel like whoever is in this reading has at least one fire placement somewhere in their chart, even if it's not your sun, moon, or rising. I do feel like there's a strong fire influence in this group. And what I'm seeing with that is this intense motivation to really be the head honcho. Okay, so I see you leading possibly even people who used to be your friends, or people who maybe even used to not support you are possibly going to be supporting your business. All right? Because there's a really strong energy around past relationships coming forward and boosting your purpose. So maybe there's some connections that you made some years ago and you've forgotten about them, but your career kicks off, your schooling kicks off, and suddenly, boom, these people come out of the woodwork. They want to help you. They want to buy from you. They want to engage with what you're doing. All right, so don't be surprised if you see a lot of people from your past coming back around the time you start your career. Okay, and this could be going to school. Some of you could be going to school somewhere else, like you might be going to school in another country, another city. All right, like top of your class type energy with the Emperor. All right, like you might date somebody who's top of the class. And I think marriage is going to be a big part of your purpose too. Even if you think that like, oh, marriage isn't for me, it's not really something I want, you might change your mind down the road. Okay, because Libra is all about mind changing, right? It's about the scales. It can be indecisive energy. So you could change your mind about marriage down the line, where if you don't want to get married and you were kind of the type of person that you're like, well, I really love having my options. I love going out. I love being social. I love being flirty. You might have spent a lot of time in your life like that. Like that might have been like your kind of chosen lifestyle for a while. You might switch up. I don't know. You might meet somebody, switch up, be like, I'm a wife, husband now. Okay, so that's for somebody. I do feel like marriage is a really, really big part of your purpose. All right, so you might start a business with your partner. You guys might, scale a really large business, or you might work in the same field as your person. Knight of Wands. What am I talking about? Lots of fire energy, guys. Group 1 got this card too, so if you haven't already, you can check out Group 1's reading. Maybe there's something in there that'll resonate with you. But I do feel like there's going to be somebody that comes into your life here, and they're going to want to move very quickly with you. They might even literally move in with you. They might move in from somewhere else across the globe. Like you might date somebody who's foreign, or you might marry somebody who's foreign. Some of you could have a Venus in Aries or Sagittarius. Yeah, look, 2 of Cups. I'm telling you guys, I cannot make this shit up. I cannot make this up. 2 of Cups. Okay, this is the primary relationship card. Okay, with the Emperor, with the 3 of Cups, new romantic cycle begins. Some of you might be about to get into a relationship right now. Some of you might get married very soon. Some of you might get married sooner than you're thinking you're going to get married. Some of you, your husband's right around the corner. Some of you, you've already met him. Or your wife. Some of you have already met the person you're going to marry. And this person plays a really, really big role in your life purpose, because whoever this person is, regardless of whether they're male or female, this person is extremely driven, and I think they're going to push you in a lot of ways where you weren't pushing yourself. Like whoever this is, they've got their shit together, boo-boo. Okay, they got their shit together. This is somebody who knows what the hell they want in a person, and they know what the hell they don't want in a person, okay? So you're going to have everything that they want, but I feel like they're going to see things in you. They might even be a little bit older than you, or they might just have a little bit more of a mature mindset for their age. They're going to see a lot of things in you that you may not see about yourself, that are kind of creating limitations within your life and are creating limitations within your growth. So this person is going to really help refine you. Okay, I'm seeing somebody who is like a sculptor, and they're like chiseling away at all the fine details of this masterpiece. Okay, so this person, they see you as a masterpiece. All right, and I think that they're going to do their best to really refine you into somebody who is extremely prosperous and a strong friggin' leader. All right, because look, we got the Magician. The Magician's a leader, so is the Emperor. And, you know, the Knight of Wands is a leader too. He's got the leader energy. But he's still young because he's not the king yet. You know what I mean? So I feel like whoever this is somebody who is going to possibly help train you in a skill. You know what I mean? They might know a skill that you want to learn, and they might help train you in that skill. They might help educate you. Like, this person is just really smart and they really have their shit together, and I feel like they're gonna want to help you in a lot of different ways, and you're gonna be very thankful for them. And then look, you've got the Queen of Pentacles. Look at this, the Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles. And the Hierophant marriage, guys. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? You might bring somebody into your life who's very traditional, very by the book. They might work like a government job, or they might be somebody who works for like a corporation, or maybe they're a lawyer, or something like that. Or maybe they're into like religious studies. They might be into like philosophy and stuff like that. I think philosophy is also a really big part of your path, like helping other people learn different philosophies, maybe going around the world and learning different philosophies, learning about different religions. But I do feel like a family is a big part of your purpose. Having a family, bringing people together, and not even just in the traditional family sense, right? Of like the mother, the father, the child. Like, I'm talking family of all kinds, like bringing people together and creating a home, creating a homey space for people to congregate and come together and call each other family. Okay, I really see that for you. I think a lot of you, your biggest purpose is bringing people together. And by you coming together with this person, you guys are going to fulfill that purpose together. Because that's also a big part of their purpose, is bringing people together. I mean, this is just really beautiful energy here, guys. But I do feel like you may have a child with this person. You're going to start a family with this person, but the family is going to be outside of the traditional definition of family. Like, yes, you might have a family, but you're also going to have an outside family that, even though they may not be blood, they're family. All right? But that is what I'm seeing here, guys. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can go and check out my website, madamdevoe.com. I'm doing 50% off your first tarot reading when you use the code EMPRESS at checkout. Other than that, I'll see you later. Take care and have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye. All right, group 3. So your first card is Conclusions Are Within Reach. Okay, so I feel like a big part of your purpose is helping people achieve clarity around things. So you might be a teacher, you might be somebody who spreads knowledge, spreads information, helping people see the truth of something and coming to their own conclusions as a result, helping people come to their own conclusions about things in life. You have the Seven of Wands here. So what I feel about this is that a lot of you are quite resistant to your purpose, or maybe you have been quite resistant to your purpose for a while. It's almost as if there's this subtle energy that's like pushing you to do something, but you're maybe like a little bit scared or a little bit insecure. It's not to say that like you don't want to do this or you don't want to move forward with this. I feel like you do. I just think the fear gets in your way a lot. And it's kind of like that imposter syndrome where it's like, oh, do I really deserve to be doing this? You know, do I really deserve to be helping people? Like, what if I'm not a good fit? What if I'm not that great of a helper? You know, it's like all of these self-deprecating thoughts that I think tend to get in the way. And you kind of start to overthink, and then I think you don't really move anywhere. You don't make any moves. And there's this pattern of keeping yourself stuck. So that's something that I think would be mindful to consider, and to consider even working through these fears, because you'll come to find that you had all the answers within you all along, and you had all the certainty you needed all along. It's just the fears were clouding those things. Okay, so the Three of Cups gives me the impression that you've been partaking in this purpose since you were very young. You've kind of always been like maybe a know-it-all, or you've been kind of like somebody who is always letting other people know your opinions, or like sharing your perceptions of things, maybe on the internet or with family members or with friends. I just feel like a very outspoken nature from my group 3. Now, being outspoken isn't necessarily a negative thing, right? Like, we need outspoken people to say the things that people who are not outspoken won't say. So I feel like you guys are going to initiate great change in your life. Okay, you're going to be a part of maybe leading some kind of revolution, right? And when I say revolution, I don't mean like a war or a fight or anything like that. I'm talking about a revolution as in change, like you're establishing change within an industry, or you're establishing change within your community. But I see you being a really big leader, group 3, and it's because you have this vast knowledge and information, and you have this really great and eloquent way of breaking things down for other people to understand and to digest. All right, so I see a big part of your purpose helping people digest very complex material. I'm seeing somebody who becomes an expert at something and is able to break it down for a 5-year-old. Somebody who's able to break down complex physics to a 5-year-old. You know what I mean? It's something like that, where you have the wiring and the brain chemistry to understand very, very hard to grasp material. So you might be like a mathematician, you might be a physicist, you might be someone who is in martial arts because you have strength here. You might be a martial arts teacher, or you might do like some kind of UFC fighting or something like that. I'm also seeing physical activity as being a part of your purpose, like you're really physically active, and that might be something that you pursue down the road as a career, or as just like a really major hobby, like a big hobby that you pursue. The High Priestess and the Page of Wands. For some of you, this could be intuitive wisdom. You could be the spiritual teachers, all right? The people who help others come to conclusions about their life. Some of you could be tarot readers like me. You could be manifestation teachers, people who are teaching about how to understand themselves, teaching about psychology, teaching about anatomy, teaching about the body. Like, I'm seeing somebody who's maybe into physical health, like you might be a trainer, but not just physical health. Like, whoever, if you are involved in physical health, I see you branching like mental and physical health into one, where that's kind of like your main focus, is focusing on both the connection of the mental and physical health. I'm just going to move my cards really quick because I didn't realize they were so off camera. But I do see this intuitive calling, like you're very spiritually connected, group 3. You're arguably the most spiritually connected out of all my groups from what I've seen. Whoever has picked this is very, very intuitive, very spiritual. You might be pursuing a path in philosophy or in religious studies, but maybe not religious. Well, actually, because I do have the Hierophant here. So some of you may be pursuing some kind of religious study, or you might grow to be very religious or very spiritual at some point in your life, if you're not already. And I just see somebody who really appreciates nature. All right, so this is the conservationists, the environmentalists, the people who go outside, the people who work with animals, zoologists, all of that stuff. And it just goes back down, and it boils back down to that idea of helping other people reach conclusions. So you might be somebody who is very passionate about the environment, very passionate about nature. You might help people understand why it's so important to take care of our earth, because you do have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is Taurus energy. Taurus has everything to do with Mother Gaia, with the planet, with Earth. Okay, so I feel like there's this big emphasis around conservationism that I think a lot of you are going to partake in your lifetime. The Chariot. Okay. It seems like travel's a really big part of all of my groups. So if you resonate with traveling around the world for your career, I would recommend checking out the first 2 groups as well, because there's a few messages about that in there. But I feel as though some of you may have traveled a lot as a child. or that was like a part of your childhood, was traveling, and then maybe you stopped. I see you starting that up again. Like, you might be somebody who doesn't live in a place for too long. You know, I'm seeing a little bit more of a nomadic energy with the High Priestess, the Page of Wands, the Chariot. This is just somebody who is very much a free spirit. You know, they have friends in all places, homes in all places. This is somebody who travels frequently, very frequently. The Lovers. I'm also hearing like your friends may be a big part of your purpose as well. It could be lovers, but it feels more friendly than romantic, if I'm being honest, because you do have the Three of Cups here. I feel like there might be some kind of project you put together with your friends. Maybe some of you guys like to write. I'm seeing like writers, somebody who writes like romantic novels or writes like erotica or something like that. You and your friend might partner up on a writing project, or you and your friend might partner up on something like a book, or you might go on some kind of traveling adventure with a friend or with a couple of friends, or you just travel frequently with friends. There's a big emphasis around friends. You might do something career related with your friends. Queen of Pentacles. So I'm seeing somebody who possibly works in childcare. You might be like a family doctor or a family therapist. You know, you might be somebody who babysits for couples. But I see somebody working with children, especially with the High Priestess and the Page of Wands. There's a lot of children here. There's the Page. You have this little girl here. I hope you guys like my anime deck, by the way. It's new. I needed a new deck, so I love anime. So I was like, I'm just going to get this one. It's cute, and I love the artwork. But you also have this here with the Queen of Pentacles. She's got her little baby. So there's a lot of energy of babies. And I just feel like this means a couple of things. I think that you are going to be working with a lot of people who are either very new to what you do career-wise, and you're going to have to kind of train a lot of people or teach a lot of people. You might be a teacher. You might be like an elementary school teacher. You might be like a kindergarten teacher. I see, if you are a teacher, I see you working with really young kids. I don't think you're working with like teenagers or anything like that. I see you working with really, really young kids, or you might babysit. But this is like a, you know, like a third grade math teacher or something who's like super overqualified. Okay, so like if you end up being an elementary school teacher, I see you doing it more for like the passion of it. Because I think some of you are really passionate about educating children and like the education system in general. And I see you possibly creating change within that system. But I also think that this has to do with not only you onboarding new people into a space, you know, helping new people understand concepts that are easy for you to understand that you've been maybe studying for many years. I see this as helping people see the world with new eyes, and maybe that's children. You know what I mean? You, like I said, you might teach children. But the Wheel of Fortune is all about prosperity. It's all about luck and goodness and fortune. So I feel as though your purpose is going to be one of those things that it just kind of easily finds you. You might have a lot of Jupiterian energy in your chart, like Sagittarius placements or 9th house placements, or you may have a very strong place to Jupiter that kind of gives you the blessing of luck. All right, so you may notice that things just kind of come to you. Like, you don't really have to put a whole lot of work in when it comes to fulfilling your purpose, when it comes to pretty much anything you do, group 3. Okay, just gonna put that out there. Like, pretty much anything you do, it's almost like you don't really have to put in a whole lot of work. As long as you show the initiation and drive, it almost kind of just magically flows to you. Like, I think a lot of you in this group are very powerful manifestors. And I think that your purpose is going to be something that kind of just easily unfolds because you're so tapped into that part of self. Okay, so it's really, really beautiful. I think a lot of you are going to be very fulfilled with this Nine of Pentacles, and you're going to look good as hell doing everything you do too. Okay, because the Nine of Pentacles indicates somebody who is quite attractive. But that is what I'm seeing here, Group 3. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can go ahead and check out my website down below, madamdevoe.com, and get your first reading for 50% off when you use the code EMPRESS at checkout. But that's it for today. I'll see you later, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, Group 3. Bye-bye.